So I haven't taken any meds for MS in over a year, and I was on some heavy duty stuff, and I think I'm doing okay. So if things only get better from here, all the good. I mean, that will be a miracle in itself, and I'm gonna stay hopeful, and I'm gonna stay in the mindset where I believe that I will beat this, and God's will, and God willing, I will come through this a better person, and hopefully my story can reach out to one other person out there that is going through the same shit, and know that it's not the end of the world. It's amazing how far we've come in even in the short time that I've had MS, over 20 years. There's not exactly a short time, but I remember that when I first got diagnosed with it, there wasn't really much that medical science could do for it. I think they said you pretty much, in the old days, there wasn't anything. You pretty much had to move to, I don't know, like a dry area and just enjoy the rest of your life. There wasn't much you can do. It would just slowly deteriorate to the point that life would get to be very difficult. And hopefully, by stopping the progression, it's not going to get any worse. And even though I have a lot of damage that's been accrued over the years, if it stops here and it doesn't get any worse, I'll be so thankful of that. So I'll see what happens. But when I first got diagnosed, I was like, I was in shock. I was in denial. I remember the nurse, that same nurse, which incidentally also had MS, so she had a particular insight on the disease that was kind of unique. And I remember her telling me that denial was a wonderful thing. So I guess she was trying to tell me to not obsess about MS and, I don't know, trick yourself into thinking that you really don't have this. So keep it in the back burner, address it when it needs to be addressed, but don't let it rule your life. And I think that's one of the best things you can do, is don't let MS rule your life. And remember that everything bad that happens to you, search, and you'll find that there's this little bit of hope, there's this little bit of good that's in all the bad. So you just have to find it. And once you do, you'll realize that you can get through this. I mean, the shit that's happened to me in these years is, I've dealt with just about, I'm not going to say everything because I don't know if there was anything else, but I'll tell you, from numbness to double vision to body aches to trigeminal neuralgia, which was suicidal pain. They used to actually call it the suicide disease. That's how painful it is. It's the most painful thing a human being can experience, I guess. But hey, I made it through that, and I'm living with it, so it's no longer bothering me to the point that it was at. Then I found out I had cancer. That you have a heightened chance of developing cancer. So I think that all that stuff that happened to me happened for a reason. So now I am 6 months post the stem cell transplant, and basically to go over it again and check my other videos, because I'm going to keep a log of this, all this shit that's happened to me. It's very interesting. Make a great book someday if I can regain my mobility to start typing or something. But basically what they did was they used the chemotherapy drugs to kill my immune system pretty much completely. I remember asking the doctor, and I asked her, did you guys wipe out my immune system completely? And the doctor said, not completely, but pretty close. And hopefully some of what they wiped out was the part that was confused in my immune system, that was attacking itself and causing more damage, which was leading to more and more disability. So I'm hopeful that that all is behind me, and I'm hoping that the MS, at least the inflammatory stage of MS, will never bother me again. And I will keep everybody posted. There's not a lot of information out on the web about this stuff, especially for the situation that I was put under. I mean, for someone to have multiple sclerosis, develop cancer, but develop a cancer that was treatable using a stem cell transplant, which also happens to be the up and coming treatment that people are doctors are looking at to treat multiple sclerosis, specifically for MS. And there's people, if you search the internet, you see a lot of anecdotal stories about people going overseas to all different places, whether it's Panama or Russia or all these clinics that are doing it all over the world. And there's these amazing, miraculous stories about them going through this and coming out on the other end better without a mess. But the jury is still out, and follow me, follow anybody else who's gone through this. If you have MS, this is interesting stuff to you. And just to know that we're this close, of all the years that I've had it and of all the years that it's been around, with little to no hope, this is huge. This is the closest thing to curing MS. The cure word is kind of a deceptive word, though. I mean, once the damage is done, I mean, it's possible that your body will remyelinate some of the damage that's been done. But even if it just stops the progression, and I don't get any worse, that would be a miracle. The cancer itself aside, which was, I mean, when I found out I had cancer, my whole life kind of got, if it can get any more any more tragic, I really started to think about everything that I had to do, and I remember talking to lawyers about like power of attorneys and living wills and all kinds of stuff that I had to go through. I just wanted to make sure that the people that I was responsible for were going to be all set if something happened to me. So thank God I never had to experience what could have happened, and thank God I'm still here. And you have a new attitude. You I guess the best thing about coming really close to your demise and having to think about all that stuff is that when you come out of it on the other side and things are okay, you're really blessed, and you look at everything, the sky is bluer, the interactions you have with the people you love they're more important. You have a new view on life, and that's a blessing. So it's like that old saying, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. It makes you stronger, but it also makes you wiser. And I think this was all God's plan for me. I mean, I was at the point where the MS was really bothersome in my life, and it was starting to see really no hope, no ray of light. And then all of this happened, and now I'm at the point where I can actually see some improvements, and I have hope. I have a bit of light now that I can look to, that tells me that my multiple sclerosis is gone, at least the part that we're all familiar with, the part that does the damage, the inflammatory part. So this is all going to be interesting. It's funny, I have to mention this. All of this started, and if you're part of my my MS group, my local group, you certainly can check this out. But all of this started with some information that I saw on YouTube by this Canadian doctor that stumbled upon this type of treatment as far as the stem cells. They stumbled upon it by accident after witnessing what had happened to some people with MS that also developed leukemia, which is similar to what I had. I had lymphoma. They're both blood cancers. And what they noticed is when these people went through the chemotherapy and the stem cell transplant, not only did their cancer go away, but their MS also got better. So this is kind of it's a miracle if you think about it. So something this bad had to happen for me to go through this. So it might, in the end, it might be my hope and my help, and this might be my miracle. So there's a lot of good things to hope for, and we'll see what happens. So it's 6 months. Everything's going good. I'm going to have a second PET scan soon, I believe, at the end of this month, and that will see what's going on with the cancer. Hopefully it's gone. It's never going to come back, and hopefully the MS is permanently in remission and will never, as far as new stuff, never come back. And I'm hoping, and I can't wait till I see my neurologist again, and I have an MRI and see what the results of the MRI are. This is going to be good. So if all the shit that's happened to me, and there's been a lot of shit, if my story can help one other person out there that's dealing with MS and can be helped by this story, at least as far as hope, then all the shit that I've gone through, all the tribulations that I've gone through, they're going to be worth it. So we'll see. I'll keep everybody updated. So if you're interested in what's going on, don't forget to subscribe and all that other stuff. And I'll keep you in the loop. But so far so good, and I'm hopeful, and I'm blessed. Take care.